Thank you to administration. Thank you to peer counseling for being such role models to us all. Next week, they're starting their bullying, suicide, and HIV prevention, so look out for that. Thank you to Douglas Drama, Ms. Hertzfeld, and your entire team for those amazing lights and for help setting up. And thank you to you guys. Thank you to the teachers for listening and taking the time to be here. These students are students from Stoneman Douglas, and they are here to talk about bullying, what it means to them, what it feels like, and how we can prevent that. So we're going to just start off by asking them a few questions. The first is, what does bullying feel like?
Bullying makes you feel trapped, makes you feel stuck inside your own body, you can't escape, which is awful. It's an awful feeling. It lowers your self-esteem, and it should never be a thing.
Bullying makes you feel empty and worthless, just like, for example, toilet water. It's recycled and it goes through tubes. They clean the toilet water once you use the toilet, and they clean it, and it goes back to where it came from. Well, it goes back in the toilet, and being reused over and over again is what it feels like to be bullied, because someone's using you there to express their anger over and over and over again towards you, and it's not the best feeling or a good feeling at all.
It feels like you're being ripped apart, like part of you is made to feel like you're insignificant and worthless. It's just like a mixture of depression and anger as a result from that. It's just, it puts you down, it doesn't make you feel good about yourself, and it makes you question a lot of things.
Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about is how has bullying affected you guys personally?
When I first moved here from Georgia, I had a really heavy southern accent, and I was bullied for it, and I actually worked to make it go away. I trained myself not to have it, and looking back, I wish I embraced myself, and I wish I embraced being southern, and I wish I still had the accent, but I don't, and it's just, you have to be true to who you are, and embrace who you are, and don't be ashamed for anything.
One of the main things that bullying has done to me is made me feel insecure about myself. When I was younger, someone told me, and they said, before you say anything to anyone, ask yourself, do they care? And I guess I took that thought, I put too much thought into it, and everything I do nowadays is just that, and I keep so much to myself, and I have anxiety, and I get depressed sometimes, and I'm also afraid of rejection because I thought too much about that, and I guess I shouldn't have.
For me, I would say it affects the way I trust people, the way I keep friendships, the way who I see as a good friend, who's just not a good friend in person. It's just it puts you on guard. You feel like you have to protect yourself at all times, because you don't know who's going to turn on you, who's going to turn their back on you, who's just going to come at you out of nowhere with insults and just ruin your day.
Thank you for sharing that. And you guys are so strong for just being up here and speaking your stories out. So I want to know how do you overcome this, and what would you like students in this auditorium to take away from this assembly?
I overcame it by realizing that I shouldn't be ashamed of who I am and where I come from, and embracing myself, and staying true to myself, and not conforming to society and what society expects me to be. And I just want you guys to take away that bullying is never okay, it's never justified, and it should never happen. And if you do see it, you should take the initiative and report it to someone, a teacher, an administrator, anyone that can do something about it.
I overcame bullying by just isolating myself in my bedroom, and I don't recommend that, but I just live my life by myself. I still don't recommend that, and I don't talk to anyone, or I just go to the internet to find people that can relate to my story, and that's how I can overcome this by myself.
How I overcame it is I'm a bit of a jokester. I would say do voices and stuff, and making other people laughter is the best medicine. Honestly, making other people laugh makes you feel better about yourself. It's just it's a good thing to keep people entertained, and like Herman said, it gets better. Yeah.
Were you just making fun of Kirby? I'm just kidding. It's a comedy club, it is. What advice would you give to someone who has been a victim to bullying, who is feeling alone, maybe they haven't been pushed around, but they're hearing something, they're feeling something, what would you say to them?
I would say to stay true to yourself, to embrace who you are, to not back up from anything, to stand up for what you believe in and everything you stand for, and never to be ashamed of who you are and what you want, what you like to do, and how you want to present yourself. It's never something you should be ashamed of.
If you're a victim of bullying, what I recommend that you do is talk to, well, if it's at this school, or you're being harassed by someone in your class and your teacher doesn't know or doesn't do anything about it, go talk to one of the administrators in your grade or in the school, or at another school, but that's not going to do anything, but someone can give you advice. And you talk to somebody here, and they can really help you. They've stood by my side all the time, and they help me overcome my problems and solve my problems too.
I would just say, let your actions do the talking. Like, do things, you know, do unto others as you would do unto you. Just aim for success, reach for the stars. Just keep your head up, and everything will be okay. You just have to have a positive mindset. Just think about your life. Just worry about yourself, and don't listen to like insignificant comments. And just focus on your future, and everything will be fine from there.
Bullying needs to end, and for us, it's over now.
Yay, Josh! Yay, Josh!
We have one more question. And that is, what would you say to a bully? And sometimes we don't even think, we're the ones who are being a bully, but words can hurt. And what would you say to someone who could be hurting a victim?
Good. You just said.
I would say to think before you speak. Everything that comes out of your mouth could be hurting someone else. You need to think before you say anything, and how, if it was you and being said to you, how it would make you feel, and you should never want to cause someone that harm and feeling the way that makes them feel.
I'm not admitting any weaknesses, but to me, words hurt more than sticks and stones. What was the question again? What I would say to somebody that's a victim of bullying is always just ignore everything or do something about it. Like, just tell them you don't care about what they have to say, because just think of yourself. You know what you are, and you know who you are, and just stand by what you believe in.
However you want to look at it, I'm like a believer in the philosophy of karma, so what goes around comes around. So if someone's bullying somebody, you know, it's not going to be, the consequences that follow, they're not going to be pretty. It's going to get worse for them, and they're going to regret that decision. It's just going to make them, bullies suffer a lot of psychological issues later on. They can have family issues. It's just a bunch of repression, and that'll come back to haunt them. It's just, sometimes, it's just the universe telling you, you know, you're doing wrong, and you need to stop it.
Thank you guys so much. I'm going to pass this on over, but I just want you guys to know that these are real students, and you guys are capable of standing up and making a change. And if you've ever felt alone, this is living proof that things do get better if you give them a chance. Thank you so much.
All right, so just give them another round of applause because they did a great job. All right, so I'm gonna, over the course of the next 2 minutes, because I know over the course of the next few minutes, you're getting a little bit anxious about going to lunch. Those of you that have lunch, y'all have English. So listen, there are a few things we need to keep in mind about bullying. It has to be, there's a three-pronged approach that we go through to determine whether or not something is considered bullying. It has to be repeated, there must be an imbalance of power, and it must be purposeful with the intent to harm. Hopefully, you guys are not involved in any interaction that is considered bullying. If you feel like you are the victim of bullying, you need to report that to your grade level administrator, and then we will facilitate an investigation to determine whether or not bullying is actually taking place. A lot of times someone comes to us the first time and says, you know what, I'm being bullied. Once it comes to our attention, we can't really label it as being repeated because it's the first time that we're hearing about it. 9 times out of 10, 9.9 times out of 10, we are able to eliminate the issue once it's brought to our attention. So please give us an opportunity as a school to address the issue before it goes outside of the school. That's something that we try to reiterate on our campus over and over again. Communicate with us. Another thing, if you're a bystander, there are usually 3 people that are involved with the bullying situation: a victim, a suspect, a victim, a bully, and a bystander. If you just so happen to be a bystander and you witness someone else bullying your friend, what I would say is treat people the way you want to be treated. Make sure that you intervene and remind the individual that may be the bully, hey, listen, chill. Now, bullying doesn't always, I mean, in order for you to have the boldness to say something like that to a potential bully, you need to be able to be bold enough to tell someone in the cafeteria, hey, can you please pick up your tray? I know that that might seem like something that isn't related, but if you aren't bold enough to ask your friend to pick up a tray, why would you be bold enough to tell someone to please don't pick on other people? It's not polite. You need to be able to stand up for yourself, stand up for other people, make sure that you're making great choices, because we want to continue to create a positive culture on our campus where bullying is eliminated altogether. Josh has a question or something to say.
Mr. Porter, thank you for helping me feel better about myself. Can I have a hug?
Hey, listen, I just want to commend this lady and these gentlemen, because they've been great about sharing their experiences with you. I mean, Josh in particular, because I work with him a lot. He's done a great job about being proactive with trying to get this message out and letting you all know exactly what it means to be a victim of bullying and how we can help eliminate that from our campus. Remember, be positive, be passionate, and be proud to be an Eagle. Have a great day. Eagle, your next class.